to a hospital as fast as we can. Give me your hands. I need you to hold them in this position right here.
I told her husband, hold her head absolutely still.
I don't want her head to move at all, okay?
I wrapped the gauze several times around her head, keeping in mind not to wrap it around her neck.
Hold her head still, okay?
Oh my God.
Michelle, bring the car up. Bring the car up.
It's gone. The tornado must have taken it.
Flag somebody down. Anybody, okay?
There were two guys in a truck just driving by, and I had my wife flag them down.
Make sure you hold her head like I showed you, okay?
I just didn't think she was going to make it.
It's gonna be okay. See X-rays here.
Dr. Lopez?
We've already lost this lady. Right here.
There was a lady with a projectile in the side of her head.
Oh my goodness.
And you could see the wood picket from the fence. Pre-protest site.
Easy. Clear trauma bay 3. Go. Forward easy, guys.
Attention was quickly diverted to her because of the magnitude and obvious nature of her injury. She was in shock, obviously, but awake and able to respond to us.
Julie, help. Clear the way, please. Clear the way right now. Easy, guys. Careful when we transfer. Don't let that board move even a millimeter. You don't know whether it's transecting or tamponadic.
The problem is it's moving her. We didn't want this thing to dislodge. You don't want to disturb it or knock it out. And obviously, it's a very important blood vessels and structures. The carotid artery, jugular vein, all went through this area. The most important thing, first of all, taking care of trauma is probably ABCs, and airway is the most important thing. If we can't provide A for airway, nothing else matters.
Hold steady. Take some deep breaths. Get some deep. No. Put that vest back up right now. She can't breathe like that.
If you sat her down or laid her down, her tongue would flop back, her air would be obstructed, and she would suffocate to death.
Do you hear breath sounds?
Shallow.
I need a laryngoscope and a 3-blade.
They're all being used.
I don't care. Go find one, clean one, get one now.
As the moments tick by, we're watching her saturation going down further and further.
2 big bore IVs, normal saline each side. Let's go.
Her sats are 80 and falling, Doc.
As saturation levels fall, the prospect for problems such as brain damage and other vital organ failure is imminent.
Come on, IVs on deck.
She would have tremendous infections going on. So all those things make those odds almost insurmountable to think that she would survive this.
Look out!
Her sats are 80 and falling, Doc.
What's that mean? Sir, if you could please wait outside. We need all the room we can get here. We'll come inside as soon as we can. Please understand that we're control our airway. Okay. Come on. Get ready for bleeding. Guys. Watch the status on that crash guard. Someone help us. Come on.
Coming through! I found a crash cart.
Emma, thanks. Hurry. Let's prepare to intubate, guys. Give me up top, please. Up top.
It became readily apparent and obvious that we were going to have to take interventional measures to try to protect her airway, the simplest of which would be insertion of a breathing tube. As I was attempting to look into her mouth with the laryngoscope, nothing looks like it should.
Chris, I can't see anything. It's recognizable. It's a bloody mess.
The pressure of the wooden picket going through her neck has displaced all the anatomic structures. That creates a problem for us.
They hurt a little bit. I'm sorry. You got to keep your airway open. Take this for me.
We go into plan B to try to support her with an oral airway, which is a plastic device just to keep her tongue from going back in her throat. Try to use a bag mask system to try to force some air into her. That's met with great difficulty. At this point in time, we have no choice. The picket has to come out.
Can't trade her. Can't intubate her. We have to take it out right here.
We need an OR for that. She'll bleed out.
We didn't have time to wait for the other devices and had to move forward with extraction of the device and attempt to save this lady's life.
We don't have the choice. If we do not do it, she's going to suffocate.
We knew by doing it we were going to face the risk of increased bleeding and hemorrhage. But if we don't control the airway, all those other things don't matter anyway.
Don't take your eyes off those monitors.
I won't, Doc.
Splatter shields. See, we're going to need a surgical tray, we're going to need suction, and we're going to need a pile of sponges.
Suction's ready enough. Got the sponges.
We're both surprised with how much force, how much resistance we're encountering in pulling us out. And ultimately, as this patient is continuing to spiral downward as far as her oxygen saturations and her other vital signs,
75% still.
we literally have to grasp her by the head with one hand, the shoulders with the other.
We're going to steady your head. All right, give it all you got, buddy. Come on, give it a try.
74%.
You coming? The budget? No, we're gonna try something else. Hey, come over here. Give us a hand.
You're doing good.
Let's get some counter traction. Give me something. Hold on.
74% dropping.
This might hurt a little bit. Bear with us, sweetheart.
And Dr. Carey, with 2 hands, with quite a bit of effort required, pulls.
Yeah, it's coming, coming.
As this is withdrawn, it makes the suction noise like when you're pulling your foot after it's been stuck in a mud hole.
You always anticipate the worst. We're taught that way.
Coming, coming. Oh, yeah.
Dr. Carey and I are not surprised with the fact that the hemorrhage, the bleeding, picks up briskly. The free ends of the vessels, which have been cut, they're now exposed.
Get up on the source. I need magnification. All right. You're gonna lose her like that. Quick look. Here we go.
Fortunately, once the plank was out,
All right, I can see the larynx.
they were able to get the breathing tube in without any difficulty at all.
Hold that tube there. You want a hand on that tube, please? I got it. Okay.
Yep. OT's coming up.
Okay.
And there's no way I can stop the bleeding. And that's a very frustrating, difficult position to be in.
Yeah?
You don't want to be there.
Get ready to move her. We got to go. We got to go.
We're about having her bleeding to death. So the decision was made to take her immediately to the operating room where we could have better control over things.
Clear this hallway. Let's go. Chris, I'm the change crib. Go see the husband. Don't sugarcoat. I won't.
We didn't have the luxury of doing enough workup, CAT scans, x-rays. We knew what we had to do to get the bleeding controlled that she had in her neck.
She's bleeding right here, behind the temporomandibular joint.
You're right, but I can't get back there.
Because it went in the base of her ear, it makes it extremely difficult to get to this area. We had to break her jaw to control the blood vessels above that area. We did all this work not knowing if she was 5, not knowing if she'd be a vegetable, from all the injuries she had, and it was kind of a scary deal going on.
Just gonna go check on her.
We saved to keep my hopes. Okay.
Julie's neighbor, Jason Starks, has also had a sleepless night.
I expected to go to the hospital hoping that she made it, but I didn't have my hopes up.
Looking for Julie Rakestraw?
How do you spell her last name?
R-A-K-E.
They were able to tell me that Julie was in ICU.
Make a left and take the elevators up to the 2nd floor.
Thanks.
I was surprised that Julie was alive.
Dr. Martin Lopez has also come to check on Julie. She's still unconscious, but stable.
Hi. Hey, Chris.
Doctor,
How's our patient here? How's she doing? We've just been watching. Vital signs are stable. Still waiting neurologically to see if she's going to come around. Julie? Julie? Hey, baby. She may not recognize you. I want you to be alarmed. I want to talk to her.
We looked for signs of stroke, unable to move one side or the other.
Are you going to tell us for me?
She was able to start moving her legs and arms, so we knew basically her motor function was intact. So that was a blessing too.
Jason, come on in.
How can you not
Doctor,
remember
this
a
is
thing?
Jason Starks. He's our neighbor. Hey, how are you? Good to see you. Saved her. You saved her. Look, Julie, you all right?
here. Julie can't speak because of her breathing tube.
Maybe that's shot.
But she has plenty to say.
You don't need to thank me. Just glad you made it.
She believes that I saved her life, but I was just part of the many things that had to go right for her to live.
Why, what are you doing?
He called the hospital.
To me, it's amazing that her power and willingness to overcome this are just remarkable.
You found her?
Yeah.
You know, thank
Up here, attorney?
Glad you're here. Quite welcome.
It's
He went
unbelievable
there with
to
his
me
wife.